Welcome to Asean Connect 2018 with this year's theme, Asean Connect 2018 Science and Technology Spanning Through Community Engagement. Last year's maiden forum of Asean Connect was a breakthrough in the region. For the first time, an extension framework that answers the call for community building through enhanced regional cooperation and integration was drafted. This extension framework highlights 4 pillars for development. 1. Science and technology for community engagement. 2. Poverty alleviation through social context. 3. System knowledge through technology transfer. And 4. Environment conservation and protection. These 4 pillars compose the Asean Connect Master Plan that begins this year and will remain until 2022 and conceivably extending up to 2023 and beyond to address the need to evaluate our efforts for improvement. Today, we look forward to further developing and strengthening last year's accomplishment by attempting to align the science and technology initiatives of each Asean member state to our extension framework, a testament to our strong support to achieving the Asean motto, one vision, one identity, one community. This is a huge leap. The Commission on Higher Education, Polytechnic University of the Philippines, and the Department of Science and Technology National Capital Region, the lead organizers of this year's event, but to the whole Asean region efforts for this year and future Asean Connect Fora contribute significantly to the vision of Asean Connectivity 2025 to achieve a seamlessly and comprehensively connected and integrated Asean. This year's endeavor brings together scholars, academics, researchers, school administrators, civic leaders, policy makers, policy implementers, and innovators, as well as extension work professionals from different Asean member states across different disciplines, who will share their best practices and emerging systems on extension programs, community development, and partnership. This forum also encourages inter- and multidisciplinary local, regional, and international support to existing extension activities among the different institutions in the Asean region. It is a pleasure to welcome everyone to this event, especially our foreign guests. May I request our foreign participants to please rise, especially the officials from Polytechnic Pixie Ganesha Badu, headed by the director, Dr. H.K. Professor Dr. Mark Hamad from Universitas Islam Jakarta, the Vice Rector for Academic Affairs. Dr. Nandang Najim Molnir from Universitas Islam 45 Gapasin. Dr. Sudan Yono from Universitas Banteng Jaya Banteng. Dr. Fatshul Rahman from Stikes Yayasan Alces Dr. from Universitas Aliyah Kuningan, Narul Iman, Director Muhammad Rahman from Academy Technology Bogor, Director Lilis Cook Samartini from Academy Telekomunikasi Bogor, Polytechnic Dharma Patria Kebume, Director Ari Waluyo. From From ST Siraria, Indonesia, o Indonesia, Purwakarta, Ahmad Damiri. The Head of International Affairs, RU Anastasia Rahman. From Stikes, Yayasan, Dr. Sotomo Dogatondo. From Stikes, Yayasan, Dr. Sotomo Sorabaya, Mohadi, SKM. From Estimik Pamitran Karawang, the Vice Head of Academic, Fitri Hermawati. The Vice Director of Academic, Ahmad Darmana, Yogyakarta, Wayu Trimastuti. Vice Director of Academic of the Polytechnic, Pratama Purwokerto, Santi Kristanawati. Vice Director of Academic of Akbid, Isma Usada Cerebol. Vice Director of Academic, Amikon Sitra Buana Indonesia, Sukabumi, Bisma Idrawan. Vice Director Academic, Sekolah Tinggi Teknologi Industri Farmasi Bogor, Herson Tajaya Limawan. The Dean of Teacher Training and Education, Universitas Alaya Kuningan, Etis Nur Istokma. Dean of Economy Faculty, Universitas Islam 45 Bekasi, Endang Hendarayanti. The Vice Head of Academic, Sekolah Tinggi Pertanian Jawa Barat Bandung, ay Susi Susanti. Vice Director of Academic, Amikom Sultan Agung Bekasi, Ramayani Yusuf. Vice Director of Academic, Amikon Veteran Purwokerto, Gunardi SC. Dean of Engineering Faculty, Universitas Islam 45 Bekasi, Sugeng ST. And Director of Universitas Islam Darul Ulum Lamongan, Aimul Masruro Maskuri. We are equally pleased to welcome our delegates from different higher education institutions in the country. From Abra, State Institute of Science and Technology. From Aurora State College of Technology. Bataan Peninsula State University. Benguet State University. Bicol State College of Applied Science and Technology. Camarines Norte State College. Camarines Sur Polytechnic Colleges. Central Luzon State University. Dr. Emilio B. Espinosa Senior Memorial State College of Agriculture and Technology. Exilio Mobile Bank. Negros Oriental State University. Polytechnic University of the Philippines. Rizal Technological University. Romblon State University. San Mateo Municipal College. Sultan Kudarat State University. University of Perpetual Health System Las Piñas. University of Rizal System. University of Science and Technology of Southern Philippines. University of Southern Mindanao. And University of the Philippines, Diliman. Let me also take the chance to welcome our plenary speakers, headed by our President in the Polytechnic University of the Philippines, Dr. Emmanuel C. Guzman. The Vice President for Academic Academic Affairs and Executive Vice President, Dr. Manuel M. Muni. Attorney Lily Freda, Media, Director 3, International Affairs Commission on Higher Education. Honorable Jose B. Matalingug, our keynote speaker. The Regional Director of the Department of Science and Technology and the member of the PUP Board of Regents. Dr. Castor Diocaris, Chief Research Management Office of the Commission on Higher Education. Dr. Steve Busti, from the Southeast Asian Ministers of Education Organization, Kingdom of Cambodia. Dr. Haidai Nguyen, co-founder of the World Valley Global Initiative, Bali, Indonesia. Professor Eric Cruz, from University of Rizal System. Engineer Janet Osenio, from Capi State University. Dr. Armando P. Basu, from UP College of Education, UP Diliman. Professor Frael Aquino, from Benguet State University. Professor Corazon Corbal, from Iloilo Science and Technology University. Ms. Regina Paz Lopez, from an environmentalist and philanthropist. Dr. Marjorie Aquino, from Mariano Marcos State University, Batangas, Norway. Associate Professor Muslim bin Rahim, Director, Academy of Education, School of Laboratory, University Pendidikan Sultan Idris, Malaysia. Dr. Maria Corazon Tapang Lopez, Senior Vice President, Centro Escolar, Las Piñas. Associate Professor, Dr. Mudtorlet Niska, from the Center of Excellence in Plasma Science and Electromagnetic Waves in Thailand. Honorable Joselito De Vera, Executive Director of PNDSCA. Professor Ann David Dayo, from Aurora State College. Professor Andrea Malonzo, from Central Luzon State University. Professor Chris John Brian De La Cruz, from Sultan Kudarat State University. And of course, we have Dr. Norlili, from the our Philippine Education Association. Let us all gather what we can from this two-day event and bring home the best learning outcomes to our communities. Likewise, let Asean Connect 2018 build strong bridges among our peoples, our contexts, and our cultures to make the dream of one Asean, one framework, and one network alive in the years to come. Finally, the Office of the Vice President for Research and Development of the Polytechnic University of the Philippines would like to commend the efforts of its Extension Management Office, headed by Dr. Sylvia Ambat, who worked tirelessly towards the fulfillment of the vision of Asean Connect 2018. We also thank our partners, Commission on Higher Education, and the Department of Science and Technology, National Capital Region, for all the assistance in making this project possible. Thank you very much, and
good morning, everyone. Good morning. I have a list of names here to read, but our Vice President for Research, Extension and Development already saved me from the task of mentioning the names. But nonetheless, I have to greet some very important persons, particularly our guest speaker, Dr. Jose B. Patalingug III. He's a member of our board, so one of my bosses. Dr. Maria Corazon Lopez, Mambuku. Of course, the president of the Academic International Consortium, Dr. Bernard Juan. Dr. Nurlili, the Indonesian Attaché in Education. The rest, your names have been mentioned, so I will have to start my message. Also, I have to welcome my fellow presidents of SUCS here. Please, you are so familiar to me, I don't remember your names. From Marikina and from RDU. Sir, welcome po sa ating conference. I will just be talking briefly on three things. I did not prepare a message, but I think it is important to talk about the very notion of extension and the frameworks and lenses through which it is being looked at. And of course, what the PUP and the SUCS are doing, and what we are supposed to do as regards the monitoring agencies that look at us in terms of extension, and then the opportunities and the challenges that are being opened up and discourse in this conference. Yeah, as of course most of you know, the notion itself of extension is quite problematic. In fact, if you ask a number of experts as to what it is about and how it is supposed to be done, they're going to come up with different meanings and also different approaches and perspectives about the notion, the concept of extension. Logically, an institution like PUP and universities do extensions by reaching out to communities, extending our limbs, our hands, with the ultimate goal of not just, of course, complying with the requirements set for us by CHED, for instance, and other institutions of government. But the ultimate goal of doing extension, I think, is improving the human condition, leading up to the core for alleviating the lives and developing the communities, the lives of people and the communities in which they live. Without this, extension will be meaningless. But of course, also there is a notion about extension that it is just like an outreach. It is a one act thing that you go to a community, you help people, and then you leave. There is no sustainability. Most of the universities, state universities and colleges in the country are compelled by CHED to deliver in this important notion of in this important service of extension, in a way that it is treated as something like equal to the very core mandates and the very core roles that the state universities must do, which are instruction and research. This is very important because I see extension as not as important as instruction and research in terms of what universities must do. In fact, it is our progress and our lofty status in terms of instruction and research that will allow us to do good extension work. In my mind, one very good measure of an exemplary extension work is producing graduates who are deployed in many industries and helping the economies of the countries in which they work. And of course, continuing to develop the professional capacities of people in places where they find themselves in. So I consider it already as a kind of extension work, the deployment of our graduates. Of course, it has to do crucially with the quality of the graduates that we produce, because their quality will determine the progress of the disciplines in which they work. Of course, research is a very important platform through which we can do extension work by producing innovations and technology to develop the lives of people and communities in which our universities exist. So the deployment of these technologies and these forms of knowledge, using the expertise of our people, our resources, through research, is a very important component of extension. So if you are doing well in these two areas, instruction and research, this will set these two will set the condition of possibility of doing good extension work. I'm not saying that we should not look at extension as a crucial aspect of the nature itself of the university, but it is only in this sense can we really perform our task and duty to extend what we have, to cater to the needs of the people in the communities, through having a good quality of education that we impart to the young people, and producing knowledge and developing skills through research. So all these three go hand in hand, but I'm saying that instruction and research are the conditions upon which extension services rest. So in this sense, we can say that well, there are things that the university, the Polytechnic University of the Philippines, and other state university colleges are doing in performing our mandates to do extension services. As I said, we are being looked at by the Commission on Higher Education. We are being measured, evaluated. Well, I hope rigorously, and this contributes to the funding that we get from government. And I find in the instruments that JED is using that that the three important functions of a state university are of equal weight, mostly. But I know that we have to follow what's being instructed to us by the Commission on Higher Education and other monitoring agencies of government. So PUP has a program on extension, which is this Saling Kaalaman, Lingap Komunidad, translated as transfer of knowledge and caring for communities. Of course, it is not only knowledge that we transfer, but also we want the young people and the old ones to acquire new skills and develop the talents that they have in themselves, even before we come to them and do extension work. So, given the small budgets the resources that we have to perform in this very important area of university work. In PUP, we have been servicing, in terms of knowledge transfer and skills acquisition, the communities around our campuses. We do lectures, trainings. We have more than 22 campuses, excluding the main campus. And we have 65,000 students, the biggest in the country in terms of population. Also the most numerous branches and campuses of all the SUCs in the country. And we still find the time to go to these areas where we have our campuses. As I said, despite the meager resources that we're getting from government, which is being threatened annually by the well, I'm not saying wrong, but very formalistic measurements that are being used to evaluate us. So the effect on the SUCs in the Philippines is to follow what is being told to us quite formally in terms of simply compliance. In fact, I don't know if other universities are doing this, but I know that some universities are doing this. We even manufacture compliance documents to just not us, but some universities, because we have to follow formally, so we can avail of the resources that we can have. But I'm not celebrating. In terms of what we have been doing in PUP, I think we have been maximizing the resources that are given to us and the resources that we generated, that we are generating from the activities that the university is doing, like for instance, incomes from research and from other academic undertakings. So this conference, I think, allow us to interrogate further this notion, this idea of doing extension work to make it more relevant to our own institutions and to the organizations and institutions which are connected to us, are relevant to us, which we consider to be like our own. So we can, for instance, exchange experts in areas where your institutions need, for instance, engineers, social scientists like myself, and in other areas of exchange, a process through which we are going to learn together and further push the envelope of extension service, alongside, of course, our performance on instruction and research. All these three contributing to that goal and that lofty ideal of improving the human condition and developing communities in which, of course, human beings live. So with that, I hope that this conference is going to be successful as it is successful right now. I would like to thank the people behind this, our people, the Vice President for Research, Extension and Development of PUP, Dr. Gapasin. Her very intelligent and Dr. Don Bernarte, and to everyone who found the time to be here and share their ideas and explore possibilities for this important delivery unit of universities, extension service. Welcome to the Polytechnic University, and let's work together to improve our own institutions and humanity. Thank you very much.